This week, it's all about your first time.
Don't be disappointed, okay?
It can be a daunting experience.
Ta-da!
And a little bit scary.
I think I'm in trouble.
Often full of surprises.
You know, this is a hired stripper, and but that came out wrong.
And can reduce you to tears.
You're going to make me cry, though.
I'm not going to make you cry.
But with a dollop of assistance,
So far, so good.
it doesn't have to be painful.
Meat has to be tenderised first.
You'll be quite good at that.
It can be a moment you'll never forget.
Wow.
Yeah, totally.
Wow.
This is something else.
This week, we're house hunting in Liverpool.
I'm with a high-flying pair looking to follow in the steps of their Irish forefathers.
And I'm with a pair of liverbirds looking for a love nest.
The busy and bustling city of Liverpool has beautiful buildings galore, with the largest collection of Grade 2 listed properties outside of London.
Not only the birthplace of the Beatles, it's also the pop music capital of the world, producing more #1 singles than any other city.
And when it comes to house hunting, it's top of the props too, as on average, homes in the northwest cost around 107,000, almost 55 grand less than the England and Wales average.
And with prices falling by over 3% in Merseyside in the past year, it's the perfect place for first-time buyers.
Which is good news for expectant parents Mairead and James Adams, who are looking for their first and forever family home.
After spending the past 4 years soaking up the sun in Spain, airline pilot James, mum-to-be Mairead and Suze the dog are ready to make Liverpool their final destination.
So about 2 years ago, I got the chance to upgrade to captain. And after that, I got the opportunity to move to Liverpool, which I jumped at because we were ready to move back to the UK at this stage.
I've heard great things about Liverpool, and the people up here are super friendly, so I think we'll have no problems.
But I fear I may be in for a bumpy ride, as this pair have a pretty long checklist when it comes to what they're after.
30-minute drive to the airport,
Real fireplaces.
garden,
I like the conveniences, shops and amenities.
space outside, space inside.
Our own little private place where all we can hear is the birds in our back garden.
Brace, Phil. That's a lot of wants.
It is indeed, and location could cause a spot of turbulence too, as being no further than 30 minutes drive from the airport means a rather large search area and may prove tricky in finding no road noise semi-rural locations. But as always, I love a challenge.
How many places have you actually been in and looked at?
We think it's 20 plus, between 20 and 30. It's all become a bit of a blur.
Yeah, I have to say, it slightly worries me that you've seen as many as 30 in what is quite a short space of time, and nothing's really come close.
Yeah.
I think you have been more vocal about what you want from the area. How will you feel, Mairead, if there is a compromise that has to be made on the style or size of the house in order to be within 30 minutes of the airport?
I think...
There won't be a compromise. The look told it all. And that's all I needed to know. Fine, I know where we are. You and I are in a whole pile of trouble.
Well, you did say you loved a challenge. With a maximum budget of £600,000, Mairead and James are after a house with a minimum of 4 large bedrooms.
It needs to feel spacious, bright and airy.
Looks-wise, they're after modern, but with character included.
And they want to be in a semi-rural location, but with easy access to cafes, shops and restaurants.
Our second set of house hunters are high school sweethearts, Laura Purcell and Andy Stoddart.
After just over 10 years of dating, restaurant manager Andy finally popped the big question. Wedding plans are well underway, with trainee midwife Laura taking control.
I said you can do cars and the band.
They're the 2 lies that I've been told that I'm allowed to be in charge of, that I'm not going to be in charge of.
But yeah, I'm planning.
I'm a guest.
A forthright woman. Now that's something I've never come across.
In his dreams, Laura and Andy were renting a luxury city centre pad, but 5 months ago they made a big life change.
Like living the dream, living in my parents' back bedroom, trying to save for a deposit, save for a wedding. We couldn't afford to do all of that and keep our rented flat in town, so now we're back with the parents.
Saving every penny we've got.
Laura and Andy are looking for a home they can start a family in after the wedding. But as well as being first-time buyers, they're also first-time viewers.
Oh, haven't used any house. We just haven't had the time to even kind
I
of...
think part of the problem was kind of reining you back because I didn't want to start going and looking at houses while we didn't have a deposit, and then for Laura to see something and fall in love with it and then not be able to get it and be disappointed and always thinking in the back of my mind, that's the house we should have got.
Andy and Laura are hoping to find their first home in South Liverpool, so we're going to show them potential pads in two places they know and like, Mossley Hill and Gateacre.
And I also want to take them to Roby, an area popular with families and one they haven't considered so far. But I reckon it could be a winner.
So, you need a house for how long?
This is where we differ.
We differ on this.
All right, okay.
I see it as more, I see the house we want to end up in, that's like our dream house, and I don't see us having that for maybe 2, and then that's the final house.
I would love to stay in our first house 10, 15 years and
Wow.
then just have one final move into the kind of the house that we have our children growing up in. And
You can get that house, but you'd have to do work to it.
Yeah.
And that's, you don't want to do structural work. You're not keen on taking down walls.
if we loved everything else about the house, it was well within budget, we had the kind of spare cash to do it, I wouldn't be petrified because the position when we can stay in Andy's mum's still.
Well, I think more than ever before, what we have to do is we have to get out there and look at things, because that's what hasn't happened thus far.
With a budget of 215 grand, they want a house with 3 bedrooms and plenty of character features.
Laura's really keen on a large open-planned kitchen dining area so that they can entertain.
And Andy's after a property they can add value to should they want to move up the property ladder in a few years' time.
So you met your couple?
Yeah, they're lovely. They haven't seen a single property, and there's no way on God's earth I'm going to be able to sort them out in the time they've got.
You've got a few days.
No, but it's not that. If you've never viewed a
they haven't
single property... No,
started.
they've looked online, but they've never walked into a single property.
Do they know what they want?
Well, they think they know what they want, but obviously they're going to be unrealistic.
Well, my couple have seen over 30.
Yeah.
But they have a wish list that's vast. Mind you, they have a very big budget, but I think the problem is they want semi-rural, and yet it needs to be within half an hour of the airport.
Do you think the Navy would take us?
At this point, we've got to jump ship, I think.
Mairead and pilot James only landed in Liverpool a few months ago, so are a little lost when it comes to location. One area they did say is on their radar is Stockton Heath, so where better to touch down for our first property. This thriving village is 30 minutes east of the airport near Warrington and has good schools, great restaurants and plenty of community spirit.
It offers everything Mairead and James are after. Fantastic local amenities coupled with beautiful walks and canals nearby.
That's the one we're coming to see.
I like it.
Yeah, that's
It
got
seems
a bit of the wow factor.
interesting.
Yeah.
This definitely, it's got something special about it. I'm excited.
With a reaction like that to the outside, here's hoping they feel the same about the inside. This is a 3-storey house, with a large sitting room, brand new kitchen and formal dining room downstairs.
On the upper floors, there's a master bedroom suite, complete with a huge dressing room, plus 4 further double bedrooms and a family bathroom.
It's on the market for £475,000, a whopping 125 grand under budget, so plenty of cash left over to make any change they wanted.
It's a late Georgian house,
Yeah.
but it's been modernised and it still retains quite a lot of the character.
I like it a lot, definitely. I love this. Yeah, really nice.
As I'd hoped, the inside's proving a winner too.
And coming through here, it's kind of open without being open plan. You've got the beautiful parquet floor.
Yeah,
that is lovely.
That's really nice. Look at the fireplace, yeah.
The space continues, doesn't it? Bedrooms are spread over 2 floors, and there's 5 of them.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Including
brilliant.
this, the master bedroom.
Yeah.
And probably the biggest dressing room
Wow.
you could ever imagine.
That's
Dressing
incredible.
room.
As we go around, how are you feeling about the kind of style and the look of the house?
Absolutely loving it. I love the character, yet modern, which is exactly what I'm after. Yeah.
I'm happy. Yeah.
James may say he's happy, but I don't think he's as taken with the house as Mairead.
I'm a bit worried about James. He's kind of going through the motions. He's being polite, but I'm not sensing that he really likes it. His wife, on the other hand, seems absolutely bowled over. It's going to be interesting.
Look at this. It says nursery on the door. Huh?
Oh, it's already pre-made.
Yeah, it's ready. We can still get a good sized bed in, and there's lots of storage again.
I like it. Sweet.
They seem keen, but slightly quiet.
Ah, but they haven't seen the garden yet. They wanted good outdoor space, so maybe this'll help warm things up.
It is a good size, but I just don't think it's the one that we're looking for.
Yeah.
What, the garden or the house?
Both. I think it's both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had a nice flow initially when we came in, but I think then as we went through the house, it didn't seem to.
Yeah, it's got
flow
the size,
same, yeah.
but in the wrong places, if that makes any sense at all.
Okay, so he's after plenty of space in all the right places. Well, let's hope my next property measures up.
This week we're in Liverpool, where I'm on a mission to fast-track a pair of first-time buyers who have never even viewed a property.
Whereas my couple have seen over 30 houses, but nothing's caught their eye. Mairead and James weren't blown away by the first property I showed them,
It's got the size,
Same, yeah.
but in the wrong places.
but I'm hoping my next house will win them over.
Well, I'm starting my mission with childhood sweethearts Laura and Andy. They have a healthy first-time buyer budget of £215,000 and can't wait to find the perfect pad after spending the past 5 months living with Andy's parents in order to save for a deposit. The first property I'm taking them to is in this pretty conservation village of Gatacre, which is just a 15-minute walk to one of their top 5 locations to live, Woolton Village.
As well as being one of the most desirable places to live in South Liverpool, Woolton Village is also the birthplace of John Lennon, home to strawberry fields and the place where John and Paul first met.
It's got plenty of bars, restaurants and shops, so I'm hoping they'll fall for this house, which will be the first property they've ever stepped inside to view.
Being the end house, you see, it's a semi.
I like it. I'm worried it looks kind of smaller from the outside, but I'll keep an open mind.
Now, I'm going to do something quite strange. I'm going to say you can go before me,
Okay.
because I'm very interested in seeing your reaction.
Okay.
This is we don't often get people who've never seen a single house.
This house has a lounge which opens onto a second reception area and a kitchen leading to a light, bright conservatory, perfect for entertaining.
Upstairs there are 2 bedrooms, a family bathroom and a loft space. And this house is under budget at just shy of 190 grand, so would leave money to do up any areas in need of TLC.
This is a big room.
Yeah.
That would be kind of the main living space, wouldn't it? This kind of, you wouldn't really sit here.
No.
The first house you've been in, you've looked at a lot of stuff online. What's your feeling on what this is being marketed at?
If I had to guess, I'd say maybe 175.
I would say 200, 205.
It's on at 190.
Okay.
But it does worry me a little that Laura thought it was 175.
Yeah.
Because I just think, ooh.
Viewing online is very different to doing it in person, so I'm not surprised Andy and Laura are a little shell-shocked.
And you've got the kitchen here, and then this rather lovely conservatory diner at the back. But again, it's quaint and cottagey.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's really bright, isn't
I
it?
really like this space, but the kitchen's just too small.
Too small.
Yeah.
Size is going to be an issue. Not having seen anything, I think what you get, the square foot you get for your pound, is going to trouble Laura, definitely.
I presume this is like the main
It's a nice big room.
bedroom. Yeah, it's really light. I like
So
the bed.
It's a really nice
yeah.
size, but there's not much
There's not
in
much
the
like
way of
storage
wardrobe,
spaces,
wardrobe
you know.
stuff.
You just have to have them along that wall, and it box it in too much then, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
No, I just don't
It's
think.
just not, yeah,
No, it's not us.
no.
Clearly, this house isn't big enough for Laura and Andy. But in reality, it is a good example of what their money will buy them in this area.
I'm a bit worried that you thought it was small.
Yeah, I'm worried as well, especially for how much is on the market
Yeah.
for. I really didn't think that amount of money would, that's where it got you.
So we're on the right track, but there might be some bumps in the road.
So far, it hasn't been a smooth journey for Mairead and James either, with the layout of Property 1 proving to be a sticking point. So I'm hoping the next house will be the one to wow them.
Set in the beautiful village of Thelwall, it's got the semi-rural location thereafter, but is within easy reach of the amenities in Stockton Heath.
It is a little further away from the airport for pilot James, but I think what you get for the extra 5 minutes on the journey time is well worth it.
It's something a bit different for you here. You wanted something that's characterful and has a sense of history.
Yeah.
It's an old school.
Okay.
Wow.
It was built as a school for the children of the workers who worked on the canal.
Dating back to 1872, this property is packed with original features, and there's a recently refitted kitchen and breakfast room, which will make Mairead happy.
The house has 4 bedrooms, but being a converted schoolhouse means layout's a little unusual, with 2 upstairs and 2 downstairs.
It's got the great outdoor space thereafter, and it's on the market at £585,000, so towards the top end of their budget. But for that, you get a beautiful house filled with character in the perfect rural location.
Wow.
Yeah, totally.
Wow.
This is something else. Absolutely. The doors, the fireplace, everything,
Yeah.
the windows, it's so bright. I think it just works
Yeah.
as a house, totally.
It seems to,
It's,
yeah.
well, so far
yourself,
anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I think that's the best thing I can say about this one. Yeah.
So am I.
Yeah.
Let's keep exploring. This is
Okay, great.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Flying high so far, Phil.
I knew Mairead would fall for this house, but I'm really pleased that James seems just as impressed.
I'm kind of conscious that you've got a lot going on in your life at the moment, but I said you are more of the kind of practical, it needs to do this.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Mairead is more of a,
Yeah.
I want
She-
emotions
she's-
and feelings in the heart.
Mairead will come into a place and see the best thing about it, and she'll start with that, and I'll come in and I'll say, no, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad. And, you know, we kind of work from different levels. But so far, with this one, I haven't managed to find too much wrong.
You've come in here and you've lit up the whole place.
Yeah, it's the first time I think I've walked into a house since we've been looking and actually been excited. You know, smiling, going, I can see this working.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of all the things you've seen.
Out of everything, yeah. Yeah.
This is good news.
So it's a good start.
It is a good start. We better continue while they're going. It's good.
So it looks like James is on board, and all the lovely features this house offers are certainly keeping Mairead happy.
Wow,
This is a good size, isn't it?
that's amazing again.
Love the bath.
I'm always a little bit on the back foot when showing properties like this that are so different and so unique. I never can tell how buyers are going to react, but James has reacted incredibly positively. He hasn't seen the whole thing yet, but so far it's going extremely well.
Don't get too excited yet, Phil. James's issue with the last house was with the layout, so the upstairs will need to impress him in order to keep him smiling.
So this is the compromise, huh?
Yeah, it's a bit dark in here, isn't
We've
it?
got dark rooms.
Compared to downstairs, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
the
just gotta-
excitement of downstairs. and
Yeah.
then you come up and it's like,
Totally, yeah.
Oh, Phil, looks like the bubble has burst.
Hang on, it's not a write-off just yet. Outside space was key to their search too, and this one comes with a little surprise at the end of the garden.
Oh, another room.
that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so you got enough space, little living room area, good big bed.
Yeah.
You found the annex in there?
Yeah.
And there's the kind of garage down there. There's another storage room here. So there's quite a lot that you
There's
can
lots
do.
you can
with
do,
it.
yeah.
The same with the house. Quite a bit of flexibility.
Yeah, it was, we found a compromise. It's upstairs.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. That's going to give us a lot to think on.
Yeah.
Fine. Well, you only need
think
one.
so.
And it sounds, you know, it's getting the
absolutely.
juices flowing a bit.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely,
so.
I'd hoped that location and character might have won them over, but I think I may need to take this search in a slightly different direction.
Meanwhile, I'm taking Laura and Andy to the sought-after area of Mossley Hill, which is in their top 5 locations to live. Home to the famous Penny Lane, it's a buzzing part of Liverpool that's great for shopping and socialising.
After being shocked at property one by what their budget will buy them size-wise, I'm coming along to offer a helping hand.
Hey, you guys picked out Mossley Hill, didn't you?
Yeah,
You did, yeah.
I think it's got the type of houses that we like.
We're going to go in here.
Okay.
First impressions?
I like it. I like the look of the house. I like the big bay windows.
Yeah.
You used the word big. Very apt in this house.
Is
which I
it?
understand perhaps wasn't in the first house.
No.
It wasn't that small, Phil. Mind your own business. Come on.
I've just come along to make sure Kirsty's showing you the right kind of stuff, okay?
I'll give him stuff. If Laura and Andy want more space, then this house certainly has it. With 4 bedrooms, a sitting room, kitchen, dining room, and it's rammed full of character.
The house offers great flexibility for Andy and Laura. First, they can enjoy it as a married couple with the local bars and restaurants, and then really grow into it as a family with good schools nearby.
It's a bit more than they were hoping to spend, just under 220 grand, but I know the vendors are open to offers, so I'm sure I could bring it in on budget.
It's nice and big, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the high ceilings, yeah.
Is this more along the right lines than the previous house?
Yeah, I would say
Definitely.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
You could move some furniture into this room and be,
Oh, God,
I'd
you
be
could.
happy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, this is a hired stripper, and but that came out wrong. Wallpaper stripper. This is a hired wallpaper stripper, and
Yeah.
a Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And after that clangor, it might be best to move on. One area that may put Laura off is the lack of open-plan kitchen, but this could easily be rectified with a large sledgehammer and a dash of imagination.
Don't be disappointed, okay? Don't be disappointed. Just stand here, sidle along. Okay, go.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think?
Without that, it'd be perfect.
You think knocking
Yeah.
down that wall is hard? It is not.
It's not. Okay.
And it would be the most sensational room. It would be the entire width of the house.
Yeah.
It would be directly onto the whole of the garden. It would be light. I mean, look how light that
That
room
next
is.
door room, it is.
And I know you said you didn't like the idea of knocking down walls, but I really think it's worth it.
Yeah, and as you say, it would be an amazing space. It would be exactly what we were after. So far, so good.
I'm pleased Laura can see the potential here, but is Andy as impressed?
Is it ticking enough for the boxes to justify going to the top end of your budget?
So far, yeah, it's in one of the areas that we're really interested in. It's got all the features that we'd want.
This is almost a forever home. This is have several children,
Yeah.
expand the whole thing. You could possibly even see out your days here. And I don't know where you are financially, whether that's actually what you want to do, or whether you spend a little less, have less debt, and move again in 10 years' time.
I think the first house that we have would probably be maybe 5 or 6 years. I think to have a family here, I would want a bit more space outside. I wouldn't want to be overlooked for now, for where we are in our life. I think this area is perfect.
Andy may want their first home to be a springboard to the next, but Laura's still got her heart set on finding a family home for the long haul.
Unfortunately, never the twain shall meet, so something, or should I say someone, is going to have to give.
Do you think we need somewhere this big with all these rooms to spend that money?
Possibly not. I mean, I suppose you're paying the extra, aren't you, to have?
To have the big space.
I do. I'd just get a nice feel from it.
Yeah.
How are we doing with this one?
I think it's ticking a lot of boxes.
Yeah. I think it's a
But
great house.
I think that as they haven't seen any houses, they're expecting us to not just get a rabbit out of a hat, but a fully trimmed and dressed rabbit.
It'll be tough. But you've done it before.
No, I haven't. I have never.
I'm trying to make you feel better.
I've never worked with someone who's never seen a single house until they came to me. What would possess someone to do that? Meat has to be tenderised first.
You'll be quite good at that.
I can pound, pummel and flatten to my heart's content. I'm still not sure I can find this pair of newbies a place in the time we have.
Oh, big smiles.
Yes.
So what are you thinking?
I love downstairs.
Yeah.
And I like upstairs, I think.
Right. So Andy?
I think all the rooms are a really good size. I'd love to have come in and just gone, yeah, I'd take it. But I think, I don't know.
I'm not sure we do that with any house, though. I
No.
think the potential's there. I love the kind of feel it's got to it. I love the features.
It's livable as it is.
Absolutely,
We
yeah.
wouldn't need to change
It's-
that much.
no.
Lot to think about.
But more to see.
More to see. Lot to think about. More to see. Oh, Phil does polish things off nicely, doesn't he?
But I've only got one more roll of the dice with my first timers, and it's a bit of a gamble.
This week, we're in Liverpool, and I'm with a young couple who can't decide whether they want a rocking nightlife or a rocking chair.
While I'm searching for James and Mairead, who want a semi-rural retreat that's not too far from a runway.
So far, the search has been a real eye-opener for my rookie house hunters Laura and Andy, as they're beginning to realise exactly what their buck will buy them.
I'd love to have come in and just gone, yeah, I'd take it. But I think, I don't know.
And for fellow first-time buyers Mairead and James, it's becoming clear that space and presentation is more important than position. Having just moved to the area, they don't have any real preference on location, other than being close to the airport. So I'm free to push the search in a new direction. We're heading north to Lydiard.
It's still within James's all-important 30-minute commute to the airport. And while it's not exactly semi-rural, we think the property's got the wow factor thereafter.
I honestly didn't expect to see this.
Wow, again.
Yeah.
When we first met and I asked you to tell me whether the house was more important than the location, you didn't really give me a straight answer.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's very true.
So
This is something.
this is the house. I'm
Okay.
testing the house,
Yeah.
whether the house beats the location.
Yeah.
Formerly 2 cottages, this house has been converted into the dream family home, with 2 reception rooms, a study and a beautiful kitchen that I think Mairead will adore.
There are 4 good-sized bedrooms, so plenty of room for new additions to the family and visitors too. At £585,000, it's close to the top of their budget, but this house is truly in walk-in condition.
It's a big entrance hallway.
Wow, yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's very good, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Very good and brilliant. If that's how they feel about the hall, their sitting room is going to blow them away.
Oh, wow.
Lovely. Oh. Oh,
It's amazing.
James. The window seats that I've always wanted. Brilliant. Oh, it's magical.
I think I'm in trouble.
I think you might be, Dave. Something tells me. It's one of the most beautiful family homes I've been in quite some time.
I feel overwhelmed just at the minute.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just feel
I think it's
overwhelmed.
your dream house.
Pregnancy does wonderful things.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
I'm going to blame the pregnancy, I have to.
I think it's lovely.
Well, I knew she'd like it, but I wasn't expecting tears, and this house just keeps getting better.
Oh.
They have done it so beautifully.
And for Mairead, you've got your Belfast thing.
Think and look. Oh,
And I know,
gorgeous. I love this.
This has got your name written all over it.
Amazing,
does, yeah.
absolutely.
You want to know
Just-
house or location? I think it's house.
Yeah.
So it looks like semi-rural is out of the window and it's all about the perfect property.
Which this house really is. And there's plenty upstairs to keep Mairead smiling.
The master bedroom with its walk-in wardrobe. There's a lot of wows
I know I might be able to squeeze something in there, you know.
What is your feeling about the location, the road?
That's something we're going to have to look into because obviously we don't know the area. I feel because it's that bit back from the road and you've got the back garden. So I think we could be quite happy here.
Good.
It looks like Mairead's already picturing herself living here.
It's got a great size, eh?
Yeah, it's perfect. Cian.
Well, I haven't done such a positive viewing around a house for a very long time. To have tears in the first room was really quite something. It has gone extraordinarily well. I'm just kind of almost waiting for a but. Hope I don't get one.
Oh.
Come on out. So, I haven't heard a word of concern, doubt.
No, I'm working on it.
He's trying.
Oh, I mean, house-wise, it's nearly perfect.
I know you're unfamiliar with the area, but you're unfamiliar with all the areas that we're looking at.
exactly.
So
true,
that is
yeah.
something that we're going to have to deal with anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've got another house to see.
I know, yeah.
So we're going to try and beat this.
That's going to be difficult. It's going to be tough, huh?
Back with Laura and Andy, I've got one more house up my sleeve. The previous properties gave them what they wanted in terms of location, but the first was too small, and while the second was much bigger, they felt it was a step too far for their first home. So I'm hoping I've cracked it with my third and final property, as I've found a house I think they'll love.
But the location is a bit of a risk, as it's in the family-friendly suburb of Roby, an area they haven't considered when house hunting online, as it's a little further from the bars and restaurants that suit their current social lives.
So what are you feeling standing here?
Wouldn't have been anything we'd looked at,
No, I feel like we're in suburbia.
but yeah.
It's about the inside, not the outside. That's true of people and houses.
Thanks.
This house may be a bit of a disappointment on the outside, but I think the inside will make them smile.
And what it lacks in character features, it makes up for in modern design, with the big selling point being a great open-plan kitchen diner, which Laura should love.
And upstairs, there's the 3 bedrooms thereafter and a family bathroom.
On the market at just shy of £190,000, it's 25 grand under budget, so they could simply move in and begin married life.
Have a look at this.
Wow. That's exactly what we were after,
Yeah.
wasn't it? In a
That is
kitchen.
exactly what you're after.
Yeah.
Completely.
So you've got this fantastic terrace
You really would utilise this, and if you had kids, they'd be out there the whole time.
Yeah.
They would. And the fact that it's not overlooked is... You don't really get that, do you?
No.
I really like it so far.
I do. Yeah. I do. I'm really blown away by the inside.
Go and have a look at the bedrooms.
This is a great family home, but is that what they're really after at the moment?
I'm pretty sure that it is for Laura, but Andy may not be quite ready to swap a pint in the pub for pipe and slippers.
It's not got the bed in the best spot, but there's space for two. We've got a bigger wardrobe in there and a bigger wardrobe. No, I like it. It is such a family home, isn't it, which is what we've got to be thinking about over the next year or two, so you get so much more house.
You get more.
It's more of everything we wanted in a house.
Sensible. They've come here, they've seen this house. It's not in a super cool location. It's in a nice, respectable, suburban location. And Laura and Andy looking at it and thinking, we want to buy it and bring up our kids here. You've got to love them. What now?
I think we need to weigh up all the pros of the house if they outweigh the kind of cons of being in this area.
Yeah.
The house is obviously making Laura and Andy question where their priorities really lie. So I think they need a bit of time to think about where they want to go from here.
Back with Mairead and James, I have one final property to show them. While they both loved the last house, they weren't sure about the location. So my next option has more of the rural feel they're after.
The popular village of Kingsley is surrounded by open countryside, with a selection of local facilities. It has that thriving community Mairead is after and two great schools for their growing family. I'm keen to see what they're going to make of it, so I'm tagging along.
I think it's very nice to look at, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. What's your feeling looking at it?
I really like it. It's kind of got that quaint kind of feel about it, so I like it a lot.
James? Yeah, I'm happy with it. It looks nice.
Not getting a good vibe from James, but hopefully the inside will impress more with its two large living rooms, open-plan kitchen diner and 4 bedrooms. But he will need to be able to see past the owner's distinct decor.
Outside there's a separate detached studio and a huge garden, but its steep slopes won't be to everyone's taste.
Coming in 50 grand under budget at £550,000, there's plenty of money left over to make any changes they wanted.
The owner is an artist.
Okay.
And the whole place is covered with art, so...
Yeah.
And kind of full of things.
I really like the feeling here and the beams and everything. It's really, really cosy.
I think you need to have quite a lot of imagination. This decor is the decor that I love. But I think a lot of people might walk in here and go, ooh, wow.
There's a lot.
and I think to a certain extent that's what's put people off.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think that may be the case for James.
Now, Phil said that you really, really like the last house. Are you feeling anything like that here?
No.
Okay, I thought so. I felt it from Monsieur, I have to say.
To be honest, it's cluttered. There's no real space. There's no feeling of space. I know there is space. I can see it.
Yeah.
But I'm just feeling cramped.
I've got a really nice feel about it, but I just know he doesn't like it at all. I can sense that.
Yeah.
I think it was always going to be difficult coming from a house where you both had such a reaction of tears.
Yeah.
Tears?
Tears.
What did he do to you? No,
He keeps a secret pin.
Underhand tactics, I like it, but I don't think they'd be any use here. You couldn't sway James's feelings for this house.
It is quite an expansive garden once you get up here. There's veg patches, there's football goals, and it's very private.
Yeah.
And very peaceful.
But the inside of the house just doesn't have it.
Oh, this is lovely.
It is quite nice, isn't
Oh,
it?
I think it's lovely. But I'm just not getting the same feeling as
no.
before.
Did James feel the same about the last house as you did?
Yeah.
Did he cry?
Oh, no, he didn't cry. No, you're going too far, Kirsty, yeah.
I don't think Phil has ever reduced a man to tears. Well, not in those circumstances, anyway.
Yeah.
What will reduce James to tears is if we keep him here for much longer. His heart's clearly back at the last house.
I love this house. James doesn't like this house.
I like
Ray
it.
does like
Yeah,
this
I
house.
like it a lot.
Phil likes
Yeah.
this house. You know,
You can just tell.
I thought I hit it very well.
Shall I arrange for us to go back to that house again tomorrow? And we can explore the area and just spend a bit more time there.
Yeah, I think so. Huh?
Yeah,
Does that look a plan?
definitely. Sounds
Definitely.
good.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll shut the door and we'll be on.
you're in good hands.
I hope so. Don't you laugh.
I'm hoping things are going to go a bit smoother back with Laura and Andy, as they've decided they want to take another look at the house in Roby. Andy really isn't sure if he's ready for family-friendly suburbia just yet, but the house is 25 grand under budget and had Laura at hello.
So, how does it feel to be back in?
As soon as you're through the front door, I just love it again.
Yeah. Once you're inside, it's a whole different feel to the house.
Well, go and explore. That's what a second viewing is all about.
Yeah.
Finding fault, deciding what you like and what you don't like.
Okay. It's just such an amazing space, isn't it?
It is what we wanted.
You wouldn't have to do a thing to this part, would you?
The upstairs isn't selling it. The
No.
upstairs is a 3-bed semi, 2 nice rooms, a small bathroom, a small box room.
Yeah.
This is why we would be moving to this house.
This is why you move. But I think this is a perfect family home.
It's not, 'cause it's not where we want to live.
I just think we'll always compare the kitchen, dining room, garden to this, and it'll never, ever match up.
I think if it's now the house more than the location, I want to look at other locations and see what's around.
It's not a yes, it's not a no.
Yeah. But you would.
I think I would.
The location is proving a bugbear for Andy.
But Laura has really fallen for this house.
I think we may be in for a battle here.
I love it just as much. It's just the ultimate house location dilemma. And I just think it...
All the good points about the house I like
Yeah.
even more, and all the bad points about the house I hate even more.
Right. Well, in which case, let's go and talk about it.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Laura is head over heels for this house, but can she convince Andy that this is the perfect place to start their married life? I've shown first-time buyers and viewing newbies, Laura and Andy, 3 properties, one of which has caught Laura's eye, but Andy's not too sure whether he's ready to settle for suburbia just yet.
I think this is a perfect family home.
It's not, 'cause it's not where we want to live.
As for Mairead and James, they want to take another look at the house in Lydiard. On first viewing, it felt like their dream home. But as they're new to Liverpool, they've been doing a bit of research before making their minds up.
Now, you guys have had a bit of a explore around the area this morning, haven't you?
Yeah,
We have indeed, yeah.
How did you find it?
it's answered a lot of our questions. We've spoken to some of the locals up in a nice little cafe up the road here, and we found out about the hospitals.
Yeah, and we've been to the nursery, getting to know the people already.
Very, very sensible to spend time on your feet and go and talk to people. Take time,
Yeah.
wander through.
Well, this is, I've always wanted one of these.
Hey, you can sit here and just look and watch out to the garden, have your coffee.
You can't hear any traffic.
No, nothing.
Is this another room?
Okay, well, it's a great space.
Oh, good, yeah.
But it's still all smiles and happiness, and so it's going to be a very interesting afternoon. See how this pans out. Happy you've seen enough?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we go and have a drink and a thing?
Sounds good to me.
See what you're going to do.
Yeah, sounds great.
It looks like the house is still a winner. And even though it's on the market 15 grand under their budget at 585,000, do they love it enough to take a risk on the area and make an offer?
It's the perfect house, and we don't know if it's in the right location.
Our hearts are firmly inside the house at the moment. It's just we need to get our minds to follow.
It boils down to how much they want to sell it and how much
Yeah.
it's worth to you.
Yeah.
They're asking 585. I mean, my advice would be to start pretty low.
Yeah.
525, somewhere there, and just put an offer on the table and
Yeah.
see how it goes down. You've got some question marks about the area, we've got some question marks about the value. This is what it's worth to us, and
Be confident
And
about
just-
it.
and
Yeah.
you know, not quite leave it at that, but put the ball back in there. Cool. What would you like me to do?
Let's try it.
We're
Yeah.
going to go for it.
Yeah,
525.
let's try it. Yeah.
Let's try it and see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go. Go for it.
Tracy, hi there, it's Phil Spencer. They absolutely love the house. I do have a figure for you to discuss with your client. This is a figure that they would be happy to pay for it, and they would be comfortable with that figure in that area. The figure is 525,000. Yeah. Thanks, Tracy. Cheers. Bye. Well, hopefully I made a reasonable pitch. The ball's in their court.
While Mairead and James are left to play the waiting game, Laura and Andy are having a serious think about the house in Roby. It has the dream kitchen and garden that Laura's after, but it is a little too suburban for Andy.
You are always going to come across the problem that in the busier areas where there's more of a high street, therefore more bars, restaurants, you get terraced houses, which have smaller gardens. I mean, you know Liverpool. You know that there are a lot of houses with yards. And if you want houses with gardens, you have to go further out.
I think how much we love that kitchen and garden, I think that's going to completely rejig us because it's going to make us... We definitely want that now, I think. We need a house that will suit our life in a few years, which is children,
If I was you,
sensible.
next weekend, get a feel for what is available, a physical feel. No more online searching. You're not going to take it from me after 3 houses because, as I said to Phil yesterday, you haven't been tenderised.
This process has tenderised us a fair bit, I think.
I don't think we've ever imagined considering a house in that area, but we are.
Yeah. I think it's confirmed what is more important to us.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you for that.
It's a pleasure. And I'm always at the end of the telephone. Never shy to give my opinion.
Yeah, that we've learned.
This is a sensible option for Andy and Laura. Buying your first house should never be taken lightly, so it's important to get a real feel for the market in all the different areas before taking the plunge.
As for Mairead and James, they're nervously waiting to hear back about the offer they put in for the house in Lydiate.
Going 60 grand under the asking price was a bold move, but will it pay off?
Hi, Tracy. Yes, what news? It was always going to be a tricky one. Thanks, Tracy. Bye-bye. She's spoken with both Mr. and Mrs. And Mr. has stonewalled the whole thing. At this point, we are too far beneath the 585 for him even to come up with the counter offer.
Right.
He's just, I'm afraid he's just said no. I mean, how do you feel about that?
It's sort of as expected. We expect them to refuse it, but I did think they would come up with some sort of a counter, not just no.
I'll put a call in next week to them. Come on, let's get a counter offer.
Yeah.
Let's give me something to work with.
Yeah.
And then I'll ring you.
Yeah.
All right. Watch the space. We'll stay in touch.
Yeah.
A few days later, the vendors did come back with a counter-offer of £547,500.
Although a good price, Mairead and James decided that much as they loved the house, they just weren't convinced enough of the location to continue negotiations.
Instead, they opted to refocus their search in the area we first showed them, Stockton Heath.
Phil did find us the perfect house, but by spending one night in Lydiate and one night in Stockton Heath, we decided that this is the perfect location, mainly due to all the bumps and prams around the place.
And hey presto, they managed to strike a deal on a semi-detached 5-bedroomed Edwardian house just a few minutes' walk from the village centre.
The house is more or less perfect. Yeah, there's going to be a couple of things always. Phil taught us that you have to compromise on something, no matter what.
And in this case, it's being close to a busy road. But it's always good to hear someone's taken my advice on board, just in a nick of time.
Well, we expect to move in a month and a half from now, hopefully, if all goes well, and that's just perfect time for the baby. A new home for a new baby.
Yeah.
Next week, we're searching Canalside in Birmingham.
Rumour has it you've got a bit of argy-bargy this week.
Really do like it.
I hate it.
No, I like it.
When house hunting, 2 heads can be better than 1.
Especially when you're ahead of the game.
Beautiful.
I'm in clover, yes. Spring-scented clover.
You should always try and keep your head.
But you can't always come up smelling of roses.
Phil.
To collect property information from the show into your own online scrapbook, or to get our help with finding your own home, go to channel4.com/Kirsty and Phil.
9 o'clock tomorrow night. 2 game shows for the price of 1. Cats and Countdown through the blender. Jimmy Carr, the main ingredient. Now, next tonight, forget isolation. The ultimate punishment is not being allowed to go to the prom. Educating Yorkshire continue.